It's me, Toby, your Buff Headwear Company recapper for Survivor Philippines, and I'm here presenting my final video recap for this 25th season of Survivor. We have a sole survivor, and we had an amazing Sunday night show and reunion show, which capped off an amazing season. I found that in this season, challenges played a really large role in the way that this season went. More than usual. I mean, challenges have always been there, of course. And then I thought that really you could look at the whole season and look at the highlights and lowlights in each segment as kind of segments of these multifaceted challenges that they're so good at doing. You know, 10 people start here, then 4 people do here, then 3 people take a rickshaw and go over here, and then, you know, one person, you know, walks a tightrope, and then someone has to juggle, you know, those kind of things. So I thought we'd look at our season that we just had as one of those challenges. And we'll start with the first part of this challenge, which involves everyone. So the first part of this 39-day challenge, on Jeff's Go, 15 strangers will go to the Philippine Islands. They will divide into 3 tribes of 5, then each pick up one person who has played this game before but was medically evacuated. Once they have that person, they got to get their supplies, get off the boats, and establish their beachhead, and establish their camp, and start their little tiny societies, and be ready to play in challenges. People have different roles in this first part. Everyone's role, of course, is to not be the first person voted off. Everyone always says that. And to try to make it, further in the game and establish relationships. At Tandang, we see that happening right away. We see RC and Abby creating an alliance and bringing in some other people. But then all of a sudden that alliance goes sour. So that by the end of the 4 days, Abby has found a hidden immunity idol, but there's already a rift in an alliance. At Calabao, a thing where the returning player has to fight against the newbies who want him gone. But Penner also finds an idol, which then throws a wrench into the works there. And at Mat Sing, we see an example of a tribe just not able to pull it together. It's a tribe that supposedly has a strong leader in Russell Swan, who keeps declaring himself the leader, when he's not declaring himself the chosen one or something, you know, Queen of Sheba. But one by one, they lose 4 challenges in a row. And at the end of round 1, Mat Sing is done. Calabao and Tandang move on to round 2. So in part 2 of our overall season-long game, we go from 3 tribes to 2 tribes in the absorption. Malcolm to Tandang, Denise to Calabao. Of course, both tribes have the same objective. They're evenly matched now. They want to be either evenly matched or ahead of the other tribe going into the merge, which would be the next step. Denise and Malcolm have the additional role of being a new person in a tribe of 7 and having to survive that. And they actually do very well because both tribes are not cohesive tribes. Not winning, or winning all that time, meant that they weren't able to get rid of any deadweight. So both tribes are having issues. It's a men versus women thing over at Calabao, and it's shifting little alliances because of crazy people over at Tandang. And by crazy people, I mean Abby. And so with that, Malcolm and Denise's spots are kind of secure for a couple of weeks. And we see Calabao get hit by, first of all, a really bad illness for Dana, which was really sad because she so wanted to be there. And thankfully she looked great at the reunion. And also Dawson and Katie being voted out because Calabao kept losing immunity. And according to Jeff Probst announcing, it was mostly Katie's fault. Anyway, so when they go at the end of Phase 2, it is very clear that the winner is Tandang. So part 3 of our multifaceted challenge means that we go from 2 tribes down to 1. And often in Survivor, this is a kind of boring part of the season. There's the part of the season where the tribe that has more starts picking off the tribe that has less one by one. Our excitement as viewers and problems as players arise because these are not cohesive tribes. People keep negotiating, with other people that weren't originally in their alliances to form new, shifting, dynamic alliances, and making this, to me, one of the most exciting middle sections of the game that I can remember. And so first we are hit with RC from Tandang being voted off. So right away, Tandang is starting to give up their lead, their power. Then Jeff Kent, leader of Calabao, gone, blindsided, in a tribal council in which everybody just revealed who had hidden immunity idols, who's got everything. It was all sorts of secrets were out there, which again was another facet of this crazy, hilarious season. After that, we saw Artis removed from the game, and then we saw Pete removed from the game. So now Tandang has lost its numbers advantage because Lisa has shifted over to be aligned with Calabao, as has Michael Skupin, and they didn't do it together even though they are an alliance. Confused yet? I am too. But we do know that by the time we get to Phase 4 of this game, which is the final One United Alliance, that it is very, very, very clear that we don't know who the winner is, but that Abby is about to lose. Here in Phase 4, we basically go from a final core alliance. Often it's one tribe that's larger than the other tribe, and as soon as they get rid of the other tribe, then they have to start infighting. In this case, there's 6 people that are kind of like each other, and they're all very likable, and one heinous person, and that's Abby Maria. However, I will give her this. She stayed in there longer than I thought she was going to, and I think longer than anybody thought she was going to. And fortunately for us as viewers, she was great television. However, she was crazy. Crazy. Her staying in longer, what actually happened was Phase 4 started early, and it started early with the blind side of Jonathan Penner, our second returning. Now Jonathan Penner, he was one of this group that thought, let's wait till the final 6 and then we'll do the infighting. Once Abby won immunity, it was left with the final 6, so I'm still not sure what he was waiting for. Once Jonathan Penner and then Carter were voted out, finally they were able to get Abby out, and we were left to enter Phase 5 of our season-long challenge known as Survivor Philippines, and that is the Final 4. So our Final 4 consisted of Malcolm and Denise, the final 2 Matsing tribe members. Interesting to note, Matsing only lost members at the beginning of the season and the end of the season. And then we also have Lisa Whelchel, the teen star from Facts of Life, and Michael Skupin, probably one of the most famous returning players, who you would have thought might have actually been a target early on. And these guys all fought their way to make the Final 4, and it was very exciting, but it was very kind of going to be nerve-wracking because they all were close, and they were close with each other. What was interesting, though, was that I didn't think Denise was so close with the other Tandang 2. So I wasn't sure if when Skupin had immunity and he was the one deciding who was going to go with him to the final 3, if her cheers were authentic or not. I believe they were. It just didn't seem like there was much editing showing that relationship so deep in advance, as there was with Malcolm and them, I thought. The other thing that's interesting is they kept talking about how Malcolm was, the one who's going to win. He's got to win. He's going to win. And I wasn't sure why. Is it because he just kept winning challenges? But is that really the only justification for being, the winner of this game? Skupin was talking about it's honorable to be against him. But how is it less honorable that Lisa and Denise won no challenge? Denise won one early challenge, and Lisa clearly won none. Is that less honorable that they were able to maneuver that? And so that was a very weird thing, and another reason why I thought challenges really loomed large in this, overall season. And and also because Malcolm, if he was so good at challenges, then maybe how did Matsing lose 4 in a row? He was good at them, but so was Carter. And so it was just very interesting that it seemed like there was an undercurrent of the jock thing is the important thing this season. And when actually it turned out that no, it wasn't actually. The social thing turned out to be most important. Anyway, Malcolm thought he had it in the bag. He thought he was set, and seemed really crushed when Lisa just out and out told him that she, was going to basically not keep him. And it was sort of crushed in the way that Russell Swan was crushed. Like, he didn't even believe it was a possibility, even though there's only 4 people left, and there's only 3 that can be voted for. It wasn't a possibility. Malcolm, God, was not pleased with Malcolm's behavior this whole last thing. He became a very bad sportsman, and just very cocky, I thought. And I, at the beginning of the season, would have thought that's how he would be, and he had grown on me a lot this season, and I just wanted more from him. I expected more from him. I was bummed that he got out 4th, but not for nothing. He did literally what Penner had done a few weeks before and didn't commit to Denise. She said, let's do this. He didn't give her an answer. She knew something was up, and so she did what she had to do, and in fact, she made it to the final 3 with Skupin and Lisa, who had one of the most interesting relationships that I've ever seen, in that they weren't going to turn on each other. Everybody knew it. Everybody knew they were solid. And I think it's just because, especially Lisa, their word was so valid. He didn't lie. If In fact, she didn't lie to such a point that it was like she was like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. Like she couldn't not lie. Like if Jeff Probst asked her something, she had to say the answer. There was no guile or anything, and I just loved how she played after the week. Week after her brother came and really inspired her to play it. It's a game. It's a game. It's fine. We all know the rules, and I really just enjoyed her the whole season, to be honest, and I'm glad that she got to go the whole way through. And I'm glad, a famous person got to go the whole way through, a returnee got to go the whole way through, and a person who was on the losing tribe went the whole way through. Which tells you something. It turned out to not be about challenges. It turned out to be about people that weren't following the 5-stage challenge game that I just set out. It was people that took their own route, whether or not on purpose or because they had to. Look at Denise. Every tribal council she went to, because her tribe kept losing. She was forced to always be on the bottom of these alliances, and she was forced to rely on people. But she was able to stand there at that final tribal and say, I have outwit most of you, outplayed most of you, and definitely outlasted all of you. And I am not apologizing for it. I was like, ooh, Lord, Lord, Lord. I thought they were going to be like, mm-hmm. And they were. They were like, mm-hmm, here's some money. Scoopin, what game is he playing? It doesn't matter. Scoopin's a 7-year-old. He literally was playing a game, and he was having the time of his life. And, it sucks that he didn't win, but number one, he didn't burn himself in the fire, and number two, you could tell, he just enjoyed the adventure. And that's the game he was playing. He was playing the game of wanting to be out there and play the game, and, do all the things. And so I thought that was great. And Lisa. Lisa was on her own journey, her own path as well. She had so many things that she was fighting against being a child star, and then coming into the limelight so openly. We haven't heard from her in 20 years, let's be real. And, having to be herself and finding that how hard that was, and yet how easy that actually is, and how wonderful that is. And then justifying her beliefs, Christian or not, just her beliefs and her wanting to be a good person and wanting to not lie with how this game works. And her visit from her brother, that's all it took, and it clicked for her. And her journey was an interesting one, and also her makeover was an interesting one because she looked great at the reunion and was looking raggedy the last couple of weeks on the island. So, Denise, of course, ends up winning. I say of course because hopefully we've all watched it. But it could have gone any way. I did realize during that episode that I was a huge Lisa fan. I actually did want her to win. So I'm glad that she won fan favorite. And I know that she won fan favorite because I'm sure that a lot of you guys, like me, just loved watching her, loved her revelations, and just loved that anything she said, if someone else said it, it would sound totally pageanty. And when she said it, it sounded sincere because it was. I am interested to see what she does next. I actually loved her take on religion and the game, and it was an interesting, it was not that I'm the chosen one like Russell Swan, who thank God didn't have anything to say at the reunion, but I thought it was well spoken. I think she's well spoken, and I got to tell you, I'm a huge Lisa fan. Other things I noticed at the reunion is Abby reformed. It seems like she watched that behavior and saw something. I don't know how she couldn't have realized that's what was going on. Especially that they showed that Scoopin interaction. That was ridiculous. Hopefully she learned something. I thought it was interesting that, RC was so bitter at boyfriend Pete, who looks and always looks great, about the whole note thing. And then I realized that she didn't know that happened until she saw it. So this might be the first time that they're seeing each other since then. So he knows it's gone on the whole time. He's laughing, and she's probably still not had the time to get her anger out about that. So I'm going to give her benefit of the doubt on that. She got the shaft, in dealing with Abby. But, I'm going to say this, though. Them winning all the time, winning the challenges, really hurt them. They weren't able to have to, figure things out, figure out who's not good for the team. Abby would have been gone. If they lost a challenge, Abby would have been gone. She did nothing. She did less than Lisa. They showed Lisa winning, helping them win challenges. Abby did nothing. So it would have been a different season. But they never had to really, really look at themselves. And so Abby was able to just run rampant like a 7-year-old, really, not a fun 7-year-old like Scoopin, but like a bratty one, like, I don't know, not Scoopin. And so that was a problem for them. Anyway, it was a great season, I gotta say. I love that Jeff Kent and Lisa both had their identities basically intact, secret identity intact the whole way through. I love that some people, surprise you with their great, graceful exits, and then later turn out to be bitter. I've been reading podcasts. It's interesting to note Russell Swan still so crazy about it. It's so weird. And Penner so goofy. I didn't love that he outed Lisa. It seemed very vindictive and angry. It was unlike the Penner we've grown to love over these many seasons he's been on. But I thought it was a great season. I thought it was entertaining. I am excited for Fans versus Favorites 2 next season. I think that's going to be great. I don't know where it's being held, and I don't. What is that place that they made? What is that country they made up? That was like a country from Middle Earth. They made that up. What's it called? Queen Victoria, Carumbla, Sigma. What? I don't know. That was some foolishness. So I got to figure out where that is. Hopefully, I have no relatives from there because, you know, of course, they'll probably show you all about the people of that country. They didn't show anything about the Philippines. But I digress. And it's been a great season. And as you all know, it's my second season doing this for Buff. I'm just so thankful that they let me do this. The first season, Survivor One World, you know, I loved Kim, but, you know, it was not as exciting as this season. I didn't have this much to say. I didn't have, you know, this many themes I could run with. I didn't have this many ridiculous outfits I could throw on or things I could do. And, you know, in honor of that, I just thought I would show you just some of those things that I did this season that I am pretty proud of.
Doom, 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 ba-doo, ba-doom, doom, 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 ba-doo. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them all, and there you have the facts of life, the facts of life. There's a time you've gotta go and show you're grown, and now you know about the facts of life, the facts of life. When the world never seems to be living up to your dreams, and suddenly you're finding out the facts of life are all about you, all about you, all about you. It takes a lot to get 'em right when you're learning the facts of life, learning the facts of life, the facts of life.
Oh, so true, Survivor Buffs. You take the good this season, you take the bad, Survivor One World, take it all, and then you have the facts of life. And you also have a game that represents life, I think, pretty well every season, the game of Survivor. It's been a pleasure vlogging and blogging for you these past 2 seasons, and I will see you next year for Survivor Chuckwoolery, I don't know, Central Begonia, whatever country they made up. And in the meantime, have wonderful holidays. Be safe. Wear buffs. They have amazing winter buffs. And if you need more ways to know how to wear a buff, just go back and review my videos, because I am rocking them. And I will continue to rock them and continue to recap all sorts of foolishness well into 2013. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Thank you, Survivor.